Devendra Pai, political analyst, Prafulla Ketkar, editor of The Organizer, Chandrasekhar Jha, leader of the Shiv Sena, Sanjay Jha, author, DK Giri, political analyst, and also political analyst Vivek Srivastav. DK Giri, just look at these pictures. Doesn't the entire excuse of kidnapping seem a little thin? You're muted, sir.
Padmaja, but let me tell you something.
Yes, go on.
I'm muted, bata rahe.
No, you're fine, go on.
So, you see, that will remove all the speculations.
Yes.
Yeah, remove all the speculations. I see a pattern of destabilizing governments. It happened in Bihar, then in Karnataka, then Madhya Pradesh.
That is fine. But today it wasn't about destabilizing.
But leave that out.
The Shiv Sena said very clearly, our people were taken away, we were kidnapped. In fact, Nitin Deshmukh said, I was standing at a choraha, people, 100 policemen came and picked me up. I cannot see, leave around 100, I can't even see one policeman in this picture. Why did Nitin Deshmukh get into this chartered flight?
No, you may not see, but Hindu has reported it fully. Newspapers have reported it, Padmaja.
Sir,
but I am telling you one thing. He had been kidnapped. It is all over the press, and you have to trust him.
Sir,
but I'll tell you one thing. Let BJP today and BJP spokesperson say.
I have eyes, right? You don't need to be a spokesperson to have eyes.
It will remove all doubts. Listen,
sir, you have eyes. In this picture, can you see Nitin Deshmukh being kidnapped? He is standing next to a chartered flight. There is no policeman next to him. There is nobody pushing him into a flight. He is sitting in the last seat all by himself, looking quite comfortable.
You have your guess and I have mine.
It is not
but you have your guess. Let me tell you something.
Sir,
you have your guess and I have mine.
What does the picture show you?
Wait a minute. Let BJP today. Let BJP today. Padmaja, I'll solve your problem.
Mr.
Let
Giri,
BJP today say, we will not form the government in Maharashtra by back door.
That is great. Let them not form the government. My question to you is different. Again.
Let BJP state today.
In this
if
picture,
BJP says they don't form the government,
in this picture, where can you see kidnapping?
As simple as that.
In this picture, where can you see kidnapping? Where can you see kidnapping in this picture?
He is saying he has been kidnapped. You say he has not been.
But the pictures say he has not been kidnapped.
Sharad Pawar is saying it. Mamata Banerjee is saying it. I do not know. I am telling you, let BJP give a word to the whole country. We will not form the government in Maharashtra by back door.
Sir,
let be the fresh elections.
There is something about visual evidence. I can say the sky is black, but that doesn't make the sky black.
Oh, come on.
Because my eyes show me the sky is blue.
This is a matter of speculation.
That is not speculation. That is actual fact, visual evidence.
BJP has a history of destabilizing governments. They have engineered this. They did it in Karnataka. They sent the MLAs to Goa. Now they have sent the MLAs to Goa.
If you're talking about history of destabilizing governments, that nobody has destabilized more governments than the Congress party. But that being said, how does this picture show you kidnapping?
So are you, see, you are not the spokesman of BJP, I am not the spokesman of Congress.
But I am a person with eyes.
I am a professor of politics, I am an observer of Indian politics. I am telling you there is a pattern.
As an observer with eyes, I can tell you that this person doesn't look like he's being kidnapped. Prafulla Ketkar, does this person look to you like somebody who's being kidnapped?
He is an elected MLA.
He's an elected MLA. Doesn't allow him to live in an alternative reality.
That his life was in danger.
Okay, does this person look like he's being kidnapped?
You are saying
he says he was kidnapped and taken away. He ran away.
Look at Times of India.
And by the way,
look at your own paper.
And by the way, that's fine. We are two very distinct. I'm not a spokesperson for Times of India. I am a spokesperson for myself, and I am a spokesperson for what I see right now.
Professor Giri. Mamata Banerjee saying it. Professor Giri. Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister, is saying it. And if Sharad Pawar is saying it. I just want a word from Ketkar. I want a word from Ketkar that they will not form the government with the rebels. It should go to the elections and I will rest my case. They will do it.
Prafulla Ketkar is
that is the problem with BJP. It is a murder of democracy.
Why are you making him form the government? Poor Prafulla Ketkar.
But you know what organizer is? He will defend the BJP. I know.
Okay, go on. Prafulla Ketkar.
He is a BJP supporter.
I am the last person.
You all know that.
I am the last person.
You tell Prafulla today.
I am the last person. No, why you are becoming a spokesperson of Mamata Banerjee and Sharad Pawar, Professor Giri? What media has carried is the version of the MLA. Media has reported that. That's fine. Now there is a counter version to it. We have to verify. We are doing that as a media. What is your problem? Now Now you are asking a word from BJP. That comes much later. Shiv Sainiks are asking a word from their leader whether he wants to continue with MVP and with NCP and Congress or not. Today Sanjay Shirsat has released his letter and Eknath Shinde endorsed that. What did he say? He made 3 points. First, Uddhav Thackeray has been inaccessible. NCP Congress MLAs could get their work done through Ajit Pawar, but we couldn't meet our own chief minister. 3, when we wanted to go to Ayodhya along with Aditya Thackeray, only Aditya Thackeray was allowed to go. Even after our check-in, luggage was in, but we were told to come back. These were the 3 allegations. Has Uddhav Thackeray refuted this? No. Since yesterday, he has been talking about only one thing. Come out of this MVA kind of experiment. This is ideological compromise.
So
we
are
don't
you saying,
want to
Prafulla
stay with
Ketkar,
this.
that instead of addressing the actual issue, all of this kidnapping, these conspiracy theories are being floated as an excuse?
He is making it an emotional issue. He is making it an emotional issue. He is making it a personal issue. He is saying that, oh, if Shiv Sainiks want me to get out of this chair, I am ready to do. It is not about you becoming CM or not. The question is whether Shiv Sena is going to continue with Balasab's legacy or not. That is the question Eknath Shinde is asking. I am not asking.
Mr. Ketkar, how does it bother us?
Here you have the rebels. Just a second, Mr. Giri. Here you have the rebels saying, and let me quote from their letter, elaborate on what Prafulla Ketkar said. The letter says, despite having a Shiv Sena CM in the state, the party MLAs didn't get the opportunity to visit Varsha. People around the CM used to decide whether we can meet him or not. We felt we were insulted. CM never used to come to Secretariat. He used to be in Matoshri. We used to call people around the CM. They never even attended our calls. We were fed up with all these things and persuaded Eknath Shinde to take
they don't go to Guwahati and take the hospitality of a BJP government and they make the complaint. They could have made this complaint from Bombay. Why did they have to go to Guwahati, take shelter there, hospitality of BJP and make this complaint? This is the internal party matter. They should have raised it from Bombay. Why did they have to go?
When the party matter is not addressed internally.
Any blind man can see the game.
Mr. Giri, my simple point is, these men and women are not idiots.
Yes.
They are not juvenile. They are thinking people. They cannot be picked up by anyone.
No, they are not, but they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable to money. They are vulnerable to power and manipulation.
No. Padmaja.
So you're
everybody else, all of us are vulnerable. We are human beings. We are all afraid of ED, CBI.
42 MLAs, that's a very unfortunate to say. So you're saying in the Agadi government, there were 42 MLAs who were so weak-kneed and weak-hearted that they can be swayed by money and corruption and ED threats.
Yes.
Then why did you have such corrupt people in your government?
11 MLAs from Congress
that they are weak also, they are corrupt also, they are vulnerable also, they are susceptible also. Why do you keep them in the government?
You know, 21 MLAs defected from Madhya Pradesh.
Mr. Giri, just a second. Let me bring in. Just a second.
This is murder of democracy.
There's a murder of democracy, but it's not a murder of inner party democracy when people are saying, listen to us, listen to us, and you are told, sorry, we don't have the time. Take an appointment and come. Prafulla Ketkar respond, and I will go across to Sanjay Jha.
Our democracy is in peril. Our democracy is in grave peril.
Sir, democracy has been in peril for the last 7 years. It's always on the brink of peril. The peril never actually happens. For the last 7 years, we have always been on the brink of peril and destruction of democracy. Okay, Prafulla Ketkar respond, and then I want to go to Sanjay Jha. Yes.
Yes.
Just one point. Just one point I want to make. See, Shiv Sena rebels have said that we have complained time and again to the CM about this, that the coterie around you is not allowing us to meet you. Only Eknath Shinde is accessible. He didn't pay any attention to it. NCP leader yesterday said that Mr. Sharad Pawar has warned Uddhav Thackeray that your MLAs are disgruntled because you are not giving time to them. Nana Patole today has said that we have also conveyed it to Uddhav Thackeray. It is Sanjay Raut and Ajit Pawar who have messed up with the entire MVA experiment. Now all the three parties are indicating only one thing, that there was some kind of dissentment within the Shiv Sena.
Okay.
And still the blame is on BJP. The Shiv Sena, which fought in alliance with BJP, won the election in the name of Modi and they formed the government.
The problem is internal, the blame is external.
Are not happy.
And evidence doesn't really support your hypothesis, Chandrasekhar Jha.
The problem is not always internal. See, the netas who have gone to Guwahati. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, very audible. Go on.
Am I audible? The netas which have gone to Guwahati. Hello?
Go on, Mr. Jha, we can hear you. Yes. Okay, we clearly have a jinx in the show every day. Let me take that across to Vivek Srivastav. Vivek Srivastav, problem is internal, but the blame is external. Why?
Let me start. First of all, somebody talked of ID over here. Let me tell you, it's a bourgeois party which basically has been very flexible. They supported Mrs. Indira Gandhi in the time of emergency in the 1970s. Then they were against the South Indians, that South Indians should leave Maharashtra. Then it became Hindutva. And now today it is back to Congress and NCP. So I do not know what ideology and what Hindutva Mr. Prafulla Ketkar is talking of. Secondly, 2.5 years, all these guys were very happy ruling, becoming MLAs.
I'm not talking. Sorry, I'm not talking. Mr. Eknath Shinde is talking.
No. Forget about Mr. Eknath Shinde. 2.5 साल enjoy किया.
I'm not saying.
Now Mr. Eknath Shinde
I just quoted what the reports are saying.
All these guys were threatened by the ED. There was muscle power. The Gujarat police, the Assam police, the Gujarat police did not allow the MLAs to meet the representatives from Uddhav Thackeray.
If people are clean, why will they feel threatened by the ED? You're a very clean man. You won't feel threatened by ED, right? If Prafulla Ketkar was to tell you, Vivek Srivastav, keep quiet or I'll have you raided, you won't feel threatened because you're like, I'm a clean guy.
I'll tell you.
So why will these 42 people, they're clean people, why will they feel threatened by ED?
Yes, because the judicial process of the country is very slow. Justice comes late. And it is very easy for central agencies like ED, the CBI and the vigilance to implicate someone. You know, it is not there. So people have to take precautions. Muscle power was used by the police of Gujarat and by
Let me actually play out for you. Okay, so they are very, very coerced. They are very, very bichara. They are very, very threatened, and they are very, very scared also. Today in the evening, this statement was released, a statement of support by these MLAs. I want you to listen what they said to Eknath Shinde when they were all in the same room. Listen.
सर्व आमदार एक मिनिट तुम्ही रेकॉर्डिंग करा सर्व आमदार एक मतानं आमचे सर्व अधिकार जो निर्णय घ्यायचा आहे तो सर्व मतानं आम्ही आमचे गटनेते एकनाथजी भाऊ शिंदे यांना देत आहोत
हातवर करा सगळ्यांनी तुम्ही पण तुम्ही स्वीकारा नेतृत्व
एक मिनिट थांबा
एकच आहे
Vivek Srivastav, what kind of coercion is this that 42 grown-up men and women are saying, we acknowledge you are our leader, let us raise our hands in support of Eknath Shinde?
Yes. Media manipulated photo ops do not justify what has been orchestrated by the Home Minister, the Honorable Home Minister of this country, who has been doing it in states after states, which are not ruled by the BJP.
But tell me, if the Home Minister and the State Minister was so powerful, of course ably assisted by manipulative media, why would they wait for 2.5 years? They would have done it 2.5 years ago, no? Instead of being embarrassed on a Sunday morning.
They kept trying. The BJP kept trying and trying and trying.
So you're saying Amit Shah is more powerful today than he was 2.5 years ago. Suddenly he's got this superhuman strength after 2.5 years and he's like, now I will strike like He-Man.
Powerful is a positive word. Corrupt is the right word. When you do not act as per your own constitution.
Okay, Devendra Pai, somehow this Shakti that is, drawing in all of these 42 susceptible MLAs is extending all the way from Mumbai to Surat to Guwahati. Devendra Pai.
Yeah, so basically, Vivek Srivastav spoke about muscle power. If there's any political party among these four which identifies the most with muscle power, it's nothing but the Shiv Sena. Secondly, you know, one of the allegations which Mr. Prafulla Ketkar missed in the letter was that a coterie has been formed around Uddhav Thackeray of people who cannot get elected. They can end up going to MLC and Rajya Sabha on the basis of these grassroots level leaders. So this is also one of the major accusations which was made by the rebelling leaders. And I think the questions were raised on people like Priyanka Chaturvedi and Sanjay Raut. Coming back to your point regarding Eknath Shinde, I think everyone, including the Shiv Sena, including the media, including the Bharatiya Janata Party, perhaps did underestimate the power of Eknath Shinde. We have always considered Eknath Shinde to be a man who held quite a lot of power in the Thane region or the Kalyan region or perhaps the Konkan region.
No,
but you know, I just went through a list of MLAs.
But NCP and Congress is saying this is not Shinde power. This is Shah power.
I think this is basically an internal rebellion within the Shiv Sena, which was brewing to happen. If anybody has been having any knowledge about politics of Maharashtra, that person can tell you that the one person who was eligible to become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra in 2019, if the Shiv Sena wanted to put up its candidate, was none other than Eknath Shinde. He was the man who has risen up the ranks from the grassroots, and that is how it is in the Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena is not a party of intellectuals. Shiv Sena is a party of the grassroots level Shiv Sainik, the grassroots level Karyakarta who has come up the ranks.
Chandrasekhar Jha, you can keep saying, you know, Shah is evil, Himanta Biswa Sarma has kidnapped them, all these people are very weak-kneed, they've got absolutely no, you know, they're lily-livered, they are being coerced, they are being tormented. You even had that gentleman Deshmukh say they tried to inject me with a poison injection and kill me. But all of that aside, the fact is there is an internal problem. You can keep looking for excuses, say kidnap कर लिया, उनको हवा में उड़ा के ले गए, but the fact is वो अपनी मर्जी से गए और अपनी मर्जी से बैठे हैं वहां पे.
The fact also remains that the demand is to join BJP. That fact has not been denied by anyone. Now the BJP is also moving ahead. Devendra Fadnavis is making movements. Now you can see, and last occasion I think on yesterday, Mr. Narayan Rane also said ye tajurba hai. So everything is very clear. We don't have to say that BJP is not doing or BJP is doing. Everybody is seeing what is happening and everybody knows what is happening.
But today again, let me play for you another video that came out of Guwahati today, where Eknath Shinde is saying very clearly, हम अपनी मर्जी से आए और एक पार्टी ने हमें बोला है कि जो आपने किया है वो बहुत ऐतिहासिक है, पर हम यहाँ अपनी मर्जी से आए. Let's listen to what these people said in Guwahati today. Listen.
मला तर तुम्ही जे म्हणालात ते नॅशनल पार्टी आहे, ते महाशक्ती आहे, ज्यांनी अख्ख्या पाकिस्तान म्हणजे काय परिस्थिती होती माहित नाही. याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी मला सांगितलेलं आहे, तुम्ही जो हा निर्णय घेतलेला आहे हा देशातला तुमच्या मागे आमची पुरी शक्ती आहे. कुठेही काही लागलं तर कधीही कमी पडणार नाही. याची प्रचिती आपल्याला जेव्हा जेव्हा आवश्यकता भासेल तेव्हा तेव्हा सगळ्यांना येईल.
They are saying हम अपनी मर्जी से आए पर बड़ी नेशनल पार्टी हमें सपोर्ट कर रही है.
That is a tacit admission. Who is the biggest national party? What more requires to be said? What more requires to be said? That is a tacit admission. And
that's
nothing
a tacit
else.
admission.
And eventually, if somebody says
that BJP is working behind the scenes.
Yes.
Devendra Pai.
National biggest party.
Devendra Pai, I can't hear you. I think you're muted now.
The Shiv Sena or, you know, the people supporting the Shiv Sena can never ever take a moral ground on this issue of formation of the government. The mandate in 2019 was meant for the Shiv Sena and the BJP with Devendra Fadnavis as the Chief Minister. It was for the greed of the Chief Minister's chair that Uddhav Thackeray came out of the alliance, did a backroom channel talk with the opposition, Congress and NCP, against whom they contested and formed the government. They cheated the people of Maharashtra.
No, Mr. Pai, are you admitting or not that here there is a tacit admission कि एक बड़ी national party है हमारी मदद कर रही है, मतलब BJP है. खुद एकनाथ शिंदे बोल रहे हैं कि हाँ बीजेपी हमारी मदद कर रही है, हमारी मदद करने को तैयार है. Devendra Pai.
Yes. I guess, Eknath Shinde is hinting towards the BJP, and there's absolutely nothing wrong in that. Eknath Shinde has been very firm from day one that, Uddhav Thackeray, when he did an alliance with the Congress and the NCP, has abandoned the Hindutva plank, and the only party which is having a nationalistic
where from you are getting those facts? Where from you are getting those facts? Mr. Eknath Shinde did never say.
There's nothing wrong in that. It's a democracy, for heaven's sake.
ओके प्रफुल्ल केतकर, हम अपनी मर्जी से आए पर हमें एक बड़ी पार्टी सपोर्ट कर रही है. दिस इज बेसिकली सेइंग कि हाँ पीछे से हमें धक्का कौन लगा रहा है.
I think whether panelists here or Mr. Sharad Pawar or Mamata Banerjee, they are just trying to deflect the issue. The core issue that Uddhav Thackeray has to, because please try and understand, this coalition has been a bunch of contradiction. I am not getting into the mandate. It is a known fact in the election campaign that Modi and Fadnavis were the poster boys even for Shiv Sena candidates. This is known fact in Maharashtra. But anyway, whatever happened, the issue is, it is a bunch of contradiction for two reasons. One is the ideological compatibility. Also is the compatibility on the ground. On the ground, if you see, in entire Mumbai Konkan region, consistently Shiv Sena has been fighting against NCP. Okay. In Western Maharashtra, it is NCP versus Congress. BJP is the new entrant. In Marathwada region, it is again Shiv Sena versus NCP is the main, and BJP is the another third factor. In this scenario, if you are forming a government together, what Shiv Sainiks are supposed to do on the ground, and Eknath Shinde like people who are in touch with the ground, who are connected with the ground. Uddhav Thackeray himself accepted yesterday that he was not accessible due to health reason. He couldn't meet people, he couldn't travel in the state. He has accepted this. So they have got the feedback on the of which they are taking a decision. Now Uddhav Thackeray has to respond whether he wants to continue with NCP and Congress or not.
Sanjay Jha, if two people can run away in spite of the dictatorial BJP government clamping down on their democratic freedoms, so can 42. The fact is that 42 are already there, and even as we speak, 5 more people, according to a passenger manifest, are on their way to Guwahati. People, it's almost become like a national highway from Mumbai to Surat, Surat to Guwahati, Mumbai to Surat, Surat to Guwahati. That's all that we've been hearing of for the last three days. There must be a reason that people continue to go.
Yeah, and more important, Padmaja, why do they go to BJP-ruled states? Why is the Shiv Sena dissidents wanting to be so far away in the northeast? Why a BJP-ruled state of Surat, and why a BJP-ruled state of Assam? But when I mean Surat, I'm talking about Gujarat, who, by the way, paid for those chartered aircrafts that keep going back and forth? Who is, by the way, paying for the 5-star hotel? I will tell you one thing. I don't want to say anything more. Many people have already spoken. The Bharatiya Janata Party is shaming Indian democracy as a citizen, and forget as a congressman, etc. I believe the BJP under Mr. Modi and Shah are bringing this great country with a historic constitution known for certain liberties and a milestone of achievements into shame and embarrassment.
But
and
how do you know they are doing it?
All of us deserve better.
How do you know Mr. Modi and Shah are doing it?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Who runs an Operation Lotus in this country? I have been part of the Congress when I know what happened in Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. Let me also tell you this. There is no harm in the BJP wanting to come in power. When they won the election in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, fair enough. It's a democratic result. Go ahead. I never talked about EVMs.
No, but this is again based on assumption. What makes you think that Mr. Modi and Shah are personally involved in this? Because here you've got the leader of the pack saying that I've come here on my own. Yes, I'm being supported by a national party, but I've come here on my own. I've broken away because I was disgruntled and all of us felt quote unquote humiliated. Now they are saying we are getting the backing from a party which has told us you've made a historic decision.
Yeah, so my simple question, who is the beneficiary of this entire political gridlock?
Eknath Shinde.
Okay, one minute.
Eknath Shinde is
we all know,
and many people actually even say that perhaps it could be the NCP which is the beneficiary.
No, it is not. It is not. I've
that you edge out the Shiv Sena, which is being weakened, and who knows?
Padmaja, let me finish. I live in Mumbai, so I happen to know a little bit of Maharashtra politics. Everybody knows that Devendra Fadnavis was waiting for his comeuppance moment or the revenge.
So here, since that you live in Mumbai and it's about Mumbai politics, let me actually play to you the response of somebody who is perhaps as intrinsic to Mumbai politics as it gets. Here is what Ajit Pawar today said when he was asked about कि किसका हाथ आपको लगता है. Listen to this, okay?
अजित पवार यांनी या मुद्द्यावर नेमकं की बगावत के पीछे बीजेपी का रोल है. अभी तक तो वैसा दिखाई नहीं दिया. बीजेपी है सर, क्या आप मानते हैं कि इस बगावत के पीछे बीजेपी का रोल है? अभी तक तो वैसा दिखाई नहीं दिया.
Did you hear that, Sanjay Jha? He was asked, आपको लगता है बीजेपी का रोल है? And he says, अभी तक मुझे ऐसा दिखाई नहीं दिया.
So
this is Ajit Pawar today. The deputy chief minister is saying, मुझे नहीं लगता बीजेपी का हाथ है.
So let me answer you. Ajit Pawar's super boss, Mr. Sharad Pawar, said that the role of the investigating agencies are prime and probably the most significant influence in the entire drama that has happened. So why don't we quote Mr. Sharad Pawar, right? I think he was much more credible.
Are you suggesting that Ajit Pawar is giving the BJP a clean chit because he has something to gain? He's a mole?
No, I don't know much about Ajit Pawar's politics. I don't want to comment on it. But the larger point, and we cannot ignore that, what you're witnessing is a crude, vulgar, coarse, meretricious exhibition of the most, in my opinion, debased form of politics in this country. I wish BJP luck. I have no problem if Mr. Devendra Fadnavis were to win an election.
Okay.
But this is a horrendously disgusting.
So you don't listen to Ajit Pawar. Let me actually quote to you because everyone is being so, holier than thou and saying, oh, this is the coarsening of a discourse by this BJP in the last 7 years, which has taken democracy to the dogs. Interestingly, somebody that you have been in alliance with, you know very well. Here is what Omar Abdullah said today. He was asked, BJP being accused of horse trading. Omar Abdullah replies, political conspiracy isn't new. In Jammu and Kashmir, we have experienced it ourselves. How there was a wrong use of Raj Bhavan, buying of MLAs, didn't we suffer it in 1984? If 35 Shiv Sena MLAs are ready to leave, they will have to ponder why it happened. We can't fully hold BJP responsible for this because remember what the Congress did to us in Jammu and Kashmir where Omar Abdullah's uncle broke away, was propped up by the Congress and subsequently was brought down by the Congress as well.
Padmaja, let me tell you with full...
being holier than thou, but today when Omar Abdullah is saying, look within.
Okay. Padmaja, let me tell you this with full... Let me tell you this with full responsibility. There is no denying that all political parties have been guilty of doing horse trading at some point. But now we are talking about a very remarkable scale, magnitude and ruthlessness. What you're witnessing is brazen, blatant.
You would much rather have, a little polished horse trading.
It's not a question of polished. I will request the BJP to kindly announce the formation of an MLA stock exchange of India and let's have open trading and buying spot future. Let's earn commission and brokerage. Let's be transparent. Let any MLA list himself and get bought and sold. It would be a brilliant way to tell the voter that India has arrived.
You'd be happy to bid at that stock exchange. By the way, also remind you that today when the Chief Minister of West Bengal was going at the BJP, she also said in the same breath, quite ironically, that today you're breaking other parties. Don't forget, tomorrow we can break you as well. So anyway, Prafulla Ketkar.
I'm glad that Sanjay ji is making this moral positioning. I would have been happier if he would have taken the same stand when BJP Sena alliance got the mandate with Modi and Fadnavis as poster boys and some MLAs were locked in hotel and Sharad Pawar ensured that Ajit Pawar comes back. So, I'm not giving any certificate to any party. That is not my authority. As a journalist, what I am saying is that this has been historical. Why are you expecting one party that we will do whatever we want to? We are for power politics. BJP should indulge only in moral politics. What kind of argument is this? This is real politics.
Professor Giri.
And if BJP gets the benefit of disgruntlement in Shiv Sena, it is the Shiv Sena's problem.
And you want
Shiv
to disgruntle your MLAs by treating them in a certain fashion.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Wrong.
Padmaja.
Nobody is holding a brief for Congress. Nobody is holding a brief. Two wrongs do not make it right. Don't justify it. You talked about ideology. What was your ideological affinity with my?
I am not justifying anything.
So one party, you did say that. But if Congress did it, should you do it as well?
One thing.
We are criticizing you now. We criticize
Sir, I have a simple question to ask of you. We're just getting in news that 3 more MLAs of the Shiv Sena, 3 more MLAs of the Shiv Sena and 5 independents are reaching Surat today evening. Since the last 24 hours, Uddhav Thackeray has made an emotional appeal. Yes. Sanjay Raut has said my doors are open. Congress has said that what has happened is unethical and illegal. If indeed there was no, that they're doing this only under pressure and they've got nothing against their party, why would this pipeline of MLAs continue to flow, Mr. Giri? They would just say, okay, great. Mr. Thackeray is listening to me. Wonderful.
Yes,
let's go and talk to Mr. Thackeray and Mr. Raut.
Sure. Absolutely. No, Padmaja, they are smelling power. They know that Eknath Shinde will be the deputy chief minister along with Fadnis. BJP will soon form the government. So let us jump ship. That's what I am saying. Everybody is saying it. There will be a government formed led by BJP. Eknath Shinde will be most probably the deputy chief minister. So there will be a new government through this backdoor manipulation. We all know it. So let's welcome that. If that is what we want in Indian democracy,
how is
like Prafulla Ketkar, Congress did it, let us do it as well. Where is Congress today? Where is Congress today? Congress has 40 MPs today. Do you want to come there? Do you want to have 40 MPs in the parliament? Then do this. Follow Congress. You follow Congress. No, you should there where they are today. Good luck to you.
You should have
in
said.
Fact, we're even getting in more news that 12 MLAs, the Shiv Sena has asked for the disqualification of 12 MLAs. Can we please take that big breaking news which is coming in right now? They have asked for the disqualification of Eknath Shinde, Tanaji Sawant, Prakash Surbe, Balaji Kinikar, Anil Babar, Lata Sonwane, Yamini Jadhav, Sanjay Shirsat, Bharat Gogawale, Sandeepan Bhumare and Abdul Sattar, also Mahesh Shinde. That's the big news that we are getting in right now. Quick reaction from you. Yes, Prafulla Ketkar.
Yeah, let me update you. Mr. Shinde, Eknath Shinde has already given a rebuttal saying that we are the real Shiv Sainik. Who are you to expel us? In his tweet, he has said that perhaps you don't know the rules of Schedule 10. The whip is required only for the assembly functioning, not for the meeting. And we are holding a Shiv Sena meeting here. And he has hashtag real Shiv Sainik. So this is going to be really interesting.
Okay, Vivek Srivastav, despite the fact that there is a sword dangling of disqualification, 12 disqualifications already sought, 5 people are going to reach Surat. That is the level of disaffection.
No. The disaffection is over there, and it is rightly being done. That since you won on this particular party's ticket, following a particular way of canvassing, you don't have a right to defect right now. So anti-defection law might work. Let's wait and watch.
We will come to that bridge when we will cross it when we come to it. Right now, the moot question is that if this was only about the BJP's coercion, why would these people be fleeing the Shiv Sena despite the threat of disqualification?
Let me be very, very honest and candid in front of you, Padmaja. In our country, the MLAs, whatever be the state, whatever be the party, they want to protect their seats, which they have won after a lot of hard work. Okay? And there is a lot of...
But they are in the danger of losing their seats, dear sir. Even at the risk of that, they are saying, to hell with it, let's just leave because we don't have a future here.
You returned, few more might return tomorrow.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a very fluid situation.
Okay, Devendra this could be a giant hoax, and if that is true, this will be the most giant hoax that will be played on the BJP. Just like these 2 people have returned, tomorrow you could have the other 42 come back to Mumbai and give a big April Fool's surprise to the Bharatiya Janata Party.
I don't see that happening. Well, I mentioned earlier when I was speaking that if any party resonates with muscle power in Mumbai, it's the Shiv Sena. We have seen the 90s where on the fingertips, the Mumbai city would come to an halt. So I don't think any MLA would risk his life and make a fool out of himself by, going to Guwahati and not being serious about it. I mean, if Eknath Shinde and those 40-odd MLAs have taken this decision, they have given it a big thought. And I'm pretty sure Eknath Shinde would be pondering upon this for the last 2.5 years. And when, the water reached this level, he took that call that, now enough is enough. I can't take this anymore. And what followed was a momentum of MLAs reaching out to him and going with him.
So either this is the biggest joke that has ever been played on the BJP, the biggest prank that has ever been played on the BJP, Vivek Srivastav and Mr. Chandrakant Jha to be believed, or there is some serious state of denial that the Shiv Sena and its supporters have lulled themselves into, still believing that the flight of talent from their party is only because of coercion or manipulation and not actual disgruntlement with the state of affairs inside. Time being, thank you very much, gentlemen, for having joined us. Like we said, this is a story that we haven't heard the end of just as yet. Tomorrow morning, another meeting is expected of the Shiv Sena. Stay with Times Now for the very latest on that. But there is one observer from Maharashtra who always has the most interesting take, and that is Union Minister and Member of Parliament, also head of the RPI. Let's go across to him.